Hi everyone. I described the biggest problem that we've got, and the problem not just in the United Kingdom but Europe and America is predominantly, you could boil it down to it being a class war. It's the bottom 60% of the income distribution that was thrown overboard in the late 70s, early 80s. In favour of centrist policies, neoliberal policies and globalisation, which has thrown the working and middle class. They've basically done nothing of them since the late 70s, while, you know, the bankers and the rich and the elite have made out like bandits ever since. And especially since the financial crash of 2008, where the government bailed out the bankers and made the poor pay for it through austerity. That's basically what it means. We've seen the largest transfer of wealth in history in the last 10 years as a result. Now, this is obviously a really bad thing, and it leads to huge issues on the ground. And what I'm about to show you is a video that I came into contact with when I was down in London. So yeah, this is actually going to be, this is an exclusive video, by the way. Nobody else has got this. So from my trip down to London that you funded, I got two reports out of it and this video. That's what happens when you invest in independent media. But I want to show you this video because it epitomizes really why this is a bad thing and just what happens when you've got these class issues on the ground. So I want to introduce you to this posh prick. I don't know what the guy's name is, and I'm not a violent person, but I think I would find it difficult to restrain myself if ever I was in his presence. And you know what? I've got a feeling that you're going to come to the same conclusion as well. Because I've labelled him the Mother's Day Muppet, and you're about to find out why. Michelle, the person recording this video, what she's seen as she's entered this park to walk her dog in the centre of London where she lives, she's seen a young black woman striding after this guy who's striding off with this bag, and he had the phone in his hand. And he's striding off, and this black woman is saying, this young black girl is saying, "Give me my phone back, he's stolen my phone." So Michelle runs up. So this is what she finds the situation is. Honestly, you're going to hate this guy.
Wasting taxpayers' money.
Where does it say
He
that?
actually called the police because this woman has picked some flowers and he's holding her phone.
So yesterday, Sunday, was Mother's Day. What you do if you're in the bottom, if you're one of the 20% in this country who are poor and in poverty, and you've got no money and you can't afford to pay the bills and put food on the table, you certainly can't afford flowers. You can afford essentials, obviously, like mobile phones, and that doesn't actually look to me like a very expensive mobile phone. You can pick them up for and obviously a mobile phone is essential now. I think it's pretty much, you know, it's a necessity for modern day life, most people would say. So he's taken the phone off her and he's stolen those flowers off her because she was picking flowers on Mother's Day because she's got no money and she wanted to put a smile on her mom's face. This is what we do. This is what working class people do. They get by in times of need. They get by. These things grow in the ground. And he has walked up to her and taken these flowers off her and phoned the fucking police in on her. I shit you not. He called the police because a black woman was picking flowers in a park. And the reason I'm going to show this video, all 8 minutes of it, and stop it and start and just pour hatred on this guy is because, you know what? As you watch it, it gets worse and worse and worse to the point where after 8 minutes, this guy actually legs it. He waits for him to get round the car, and then he puts the bag down and runs off because he knew Michelle, the person who recorded this video, showed him to be the pompous, privileged prick that he is. Enjoy this, and well done, Michelle. You're gonna send us some love in the comments if you think she's great, because I do.
And he won't give her her phone.
I'm not.
How dare you? Wasting my tax. I go to work every day for you to waste my money like this.
Permanently to deprive.
Where does
You
it
tell me
say, sir?
It doesn't
I've
have
been
to have
walking around in
signs
Pops. It's
telling
Mother's
you.
Day today.
I know,
But
it
you're not
doesn't have to have
listen, you're not
signs.
It's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day. She's gone out to pick flowers for Mother's Day. That's a lovely, caring girl. That's not a threat to society. That's not anybody causing him problems. That's not anybody degrading the area. He's just being a prick. is what he is. He's just being a prick.
You're not the law.
No,
You are not the law. How dare you push me? How dare you touch me?
Yeah, he turned when the reason that Michelle recorded that, I forgot to say at the beginning, the reason she started recording was because as she was striding after him, she saw him turn around and push her. She said that the young black girl didn't touch him at all, but he turned around and pushed her because she was saying, "Give me my phone back."
You're a male, I'm a female. How dare you?
I saw you push
I don't know you. And then you're taking my property. You still have my property in your hand.
If the police are coming, just stop arguing with him. Let him hold your phone when the police are here. Cool.
And you've smashed it.
I haven't smashed it.
Look at it.
Because where's your proof?
No.
Listen, where's your proof that she was even picking them flowers? Is there any CCTV around here? Because to
There
me
is
it looks like you were the one that picking flowers right now because you're holding the flowers.
Yes.
Well, possession is 9/10 of the law, mate. You know what I mean? You've got the possession. That means, hey, you picked those flowers, mate.
That's how it works.
Well, let's
see.
see.
Yeah, no, we will.
Because I'm an independent witness that was walking through the park, so.
Yeah, you are.
Yes, I am. I think you're crazy. I think you're absolutely crazy. Give her her phone back.
I don't think I don't think he's crazy, Michelle. I think he's a pompous, privileged prick. Is what I do. I think he's a privileged twat. That's what I think he is. This guy. He's just an asshole. He's an absolute asshole. He's the sort of guy who spent his teenage years in the choir at his private school hoping that, the priest was going to molest him. He's the sort of guy that spent the rest of his time when he was at private school jerking off to copies of Horse and Hound. Probably leaving the picture of, when the hounds actually whipped the fox to pieces as his vinegar stroke picture. That's what he is. He's an absolute privileged twat.
Holding her phone. Yeah.
And he's the result of a broken fucking society. And you know what? What else I noticed about this video? I was laughing at this the first time I saw it. But the more I watched it, the more I got angry. Because this guy, if you noticed, he hasn't got a London accent. The other two, they have. That's a real London accent. Actually, I spoke to Michelle and she's been from that area for generations. Her family's been there. And this is the result, because that rich twat has probably come in from Oxford or Cambridge or wherever it was that he was masturbating over Horse and Hound throughout his teenage years, and has bought his his daddy has bought him a nice flat in the centre of London. That's what it seems to me like. And he's gone in there and said, "Oh my God, I've spent £500,000 on a flat and I've got to meet poor people in the park every day picking flowers. Are you kidding me? Not on my..." This is what he's like. This is the sort of person he's like. And this is the divide that you're seeing right now. I hate this man. I really do. I want to smack him one.
I'm
yeah, well, you've stolen it.
No, I haven't stolen it.
Well, she's asking for you back. You got no right to
no,
take her property off
theft
her.
is a dishonest
How dare you?
appropriation
She
of
can
property.
afford a phone.
Yes, because you're saying that.
So now we're saying, oh, that's your typical right-wing audience. Oh, you can afford a phone, but you can't afford flowers. Well, you know what? A phone is a necessity. Flowers are a luxury, you rich privileged prat. God, I hate this man.
She can't afford flowers.
How dare you? What's it got to do with you?
Because these
Phone up the council.
flowers are here for the benefit of everyone, for all of park users.
Well, phone up the
so
council.
she's here picking flowers.
Do what you should do. Do your responsibility.
But for the benefit of all the park users, and so she's here picking flowers. Can you, honestly, does this guy even hear what he's saying? Or did he see a black girl and decides to pick on her because he's a little bit racist? You're about to find out the answer to that question, because look what's not 20 yards from it.
And you thing and report it and let them come down and catch her doing it. You've got no right to take her phone off her. No, you're not the police.
Did you see that bench then? Just look, you're about to see something that I found quite funny when I first saw it, I must admit. It is funny. But it's not actually when you think about it.
You've got no authority. And I saw you push her. I saw you push her. Who's holding her phone off? I'm not getting you involved. You looked over, so don't look over.
We all want to have a nice Sunday on the park.
You caught eye contact with me.
Stealing the flowers.
Carry on doing your crack, love. The police are on their way.
It doesn't have to say.
I know I'm laughing, but I shouldn't. It's really bad, but you think about that. That privileged prick, that white privileged prick, has walked past a white woman smoking crack on a bench to accost a young black woman picking flowers for her mum on Mother's Day? Tiny little incy wincy bit racist, don't you think? As well as being a posh privileged prat.
These flowers belong to someone else.
No, you sit in a park doing crack.
Stolen it.
What's that in your
No,
bag?
I pushed you away when you were like, right.
No, I didn't do nothing. Don't
Well,
lie.
we'll see when the police
Don't
get here,
lie.
innit?
I'm a security officer. Do not lie.
You're a security officer. I'm a solicitor.
He's a solicitor, he says. He's a solicitor. Worst fucking solicitor in the world. Well, if that's a solicitor, now I hate him even more. I didn't think it was possible up until this point.
Babe, don't argue with him.
No.
Don't argue with him.
Yes,
Don't
yes,
argue
I
with
know
him.
that
Don't
I haven't
argue with him
stolen
because
the
he's a
phone.
solicitor. So cool, because we're going to report that as well. I'd like to get your details because I think the way you're acting is ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous.
Even as a solicitor, you have no authority to take her phone.
I haven't.
You could have called.
I haven't. There's no.
Well, give it
theft.
back. She's
There's
asked
no
you for it
theft.
back.
Yes,
And you're not giving
Look,
it.
up to now.
So what
we're
definition? What's the
Because-
definition of
Because
that?
the police are
Look,
coming along, and
he
then
has-
they'll be
he has
speaking
the
to this
flower.
lady.
But it's the police coming along and showing it.
Here.
You don't have the right to take her phone. That is theft. She's asked you for it back and you haven't given it to her back, especially.
Can I just ask a question? Do you think he would have done that if it was a young black man who was picking flowers for his wife for his mum on Mother's Day, or his wife on Mother's Day? Do you think he would have done that if it was a young white man? Do you think he would have accosted her if it was a young white man? Do you think he would have accosted the person if it was the white woman who was sitting on the bench smoking crack? Or do you think that is a rich, privileged prick who thinks he's the pollen police? A Mother's Day muppet?
That is no issue at all for me, because I'm not doing anything here, which is a problem, as against the two of you.
You've stolen her phone.
I haven't stolen,
You've stolen her
her
phone.
You have it in your
You
hand.
still have
You're
it. Do you want your
refusing
phone?
to
He's got a phone in his hand. He's stolen it. That's her property, and he's took it from her. If he was a solicitor, he would know. If you take somebody's property off them when you've got no authority, then you know what? That's fucking theft, you idiots.
And hand it back
Can you
to
give her her
as
phone
an
back?
appropriate.
It's my phone.
It is
sir.
your phone.
It's my phone.
It is your phone. These
This
aren't
is my
your
right.
flowers,
I
though.
Oh, so you're refusing
Yes,
to
and-
give her her phone?
Oh, I tell you, I wish I was there. I know. I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, I wish I was there. And you know what? Every guy watching this right now is thinking, I wish I was there. I wish I was there. That's all I'll say. I wish I was there.
I'm giving you your
No,
flowers.
no.
They're not your
Are
flowers
you
either for
refusing
you
to
to
give her?
hold that.
It's not even a
They're not
crime to
your
pick
flowers.
flowers.
Yes, it is
Either.
actually.
All right,
It
cool.
is
So
actually.
it's a-
Yes, it is actually. Yes, it is actually. Oh.
criminal
Oh, I
offence.
wanna
You'll
hit
be
him.
arrested.
I wanna
It's a
hit
criminal
him.
offence. Or is it? Is it a criminal offence?
is.
You're a
Really, you're a
solicitor.
solicitor.
And it's not a
Really, you know
criminal offence
nothing.
to
Don't lie to me
to
just because you've got
assault.
a little posh accent and you think you're better than
Exactly.
everyone else.
I
We
don't-
know
I
what
don't
this is
think
about.
I'm
We
better.
know what this is
Yeah.
about.
This is
You
about-
made an assumption about her having
Yeah.
a phone.
No.
Yeah, why is that? She works. She can afford a phone.
Yeah, she can afford flowers as well, but she's
None of
saying.
your business.
How do you know she can afford flowers? That's why she's picking flowers, you posh prick.
That's
That's
what
none
she
of your
said to me.
business. Are
She-
you the police?
She said that she
Are
couldn't
you
afford
hired to
flowers.
police that?
Saw her
No,
hat.
I'm not.
She saw
And
the
it's not even
colour,
the
and
police's
that's
job.
it.
It's
It's
not
not-
even. She won't get arrested.
It's
She won't get
absolutely
arrested.
nothing
She will
to
get her
do with
phone back, and then
so
you'll be
don't
told to
bringing
walk
that
on.
up. That is inappropriate and not
Yes,
right.
it is.
for race
Absolutely.
That is inappropriate and not right.
Right. Absolutely.
nothing to do.
Absolutely. You made an assumption that she shouldn't even have a mobile phone.
Yeah.
No.
Ridiculous.
So what? You think this has got to do with race? Why? Because I'm right and you're not.
Yeah.
This has got absolutely nothing to do with race.
It's got everything to do with it.
No, it has.
He's walked past a white woman smoking crack to accost a black girl picking flowers. Look at that. Look at that. That's the grass behind. It's full of daffodils. I walked the dog today. My area, because of the weather and the spring we've had, is full. There's fields full of flowers. That park is full of flowers. Full of them. He's a racist posh prick. He's a racist posh privileged prick. That's what he is.
Yes, you think you have the authority
Yeah,
over
this is your
everyone else.
part.
This is
It's
white
not my part.
entitlement.
No.
You don't even
This
know
is
where I
white
live.
entitlement.
This is
You know what? Michelle's so good. Honestly, give yourself a pat on the back, Michelle, because that's what this is. It's white entitlement. It's white privilege. He thinks he's better than her because she's black and she's poor. That's what it is. He thinks he's better than her because she's black and she's poor. She's black and she's poor, but she's from that neighbourhood. You obviously aren't Posh Privileged Pratt that's coming from Oxford. Yet this is indicative of how they are, this is indicative of why they are pushing out people like, the poor who have lived there for years in gentrification and trying to get these rich pricks in. Because he obviously just doesn't want to see poor people on his way to work in the morning or on his way to the bakery on a Sunday or whatever it was. His way to the church to get molested by the vicar.
No, it's the community.
White entitlement.
Right there.
This is
your
white
park,
entitlement.
Straight away.
White entitlement, babe. That's what it's called. White
It's
entitlement.
not your park.
It's not your park either.
But you
Can I also point out as well just how actually, especially the black girl who he took the phone off. I don't know her name, otherwise I would obviously refer to her as something else. But how nice and polite she'd been. Because I know, members of my family, for instance, if you'd have tried that on them, on a female member of my family, the guy would have got an ass kicking, the likes of which he would have never seen before. If he'd have tried to take my sister's phone off him, she'd have decked him. You're
holding the flowers.
But they're responding to him, honestly. I would not have that level. I would definitely not have that level of patience with him. Every guy out there is going to agree with me. I know.
No. The point is about you picking the flowers and taking them in order for you to be.
And that gives you the right.
In order for her to go and take those flowers to her mum and put them in a vase on the windowsill and say, "Happy Mother's Day, Mum, I love you. I know I'm poor, but I thought about you today." That's what she wanted to do. And this Posh Privileged Pratt thinks that she's breaking the law.
Right to take my phone.
It's got photos that you've taken
my
of them,
property, sir.
Taking the flowers, so the police
Taking
will be able
pictures
to
of the flowers.
Yes, which you then put into the bag. So put together, it proves that I have not been taking
you have
flowers.
my
No, listen, no, it doesn't. She took a picture of a flower. She's not holding that bag right now. You are, and I don't see no CCTV that says that she was either holding that bag or picking flowers. You're holding the bag. The only evidence you have is that she's got pictures of flowers.
All I see from this video is him stealing her phone and have some flowers that have been picked. That's what I see here. The video evidence and 2 witnesses. The guy's obviously, oh shit, yeah, they're right. If he is a solicitor, he's the worst solicitor in the world.
I've got pictures of flowers. Loads of people come in this park and take flowers.
Yeah.
So you should give her her phone. You're
They don't
crazy.
take flowers.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
Look how honestly polite she's being. Please give me my phone back, she's saying.
You're crazy. If you're not going to, you need to give her her phone, or I'm going to have to stop recording.
No. I will be giving you your phone
will.
back.
Yeah, you will.
But once the police are coming, so the police are going to be here.
My property, sir.
No.
Can you see that? Look at which one of them is being the prick.
Listen, because you were very assured of your rights only a short while ago and of the law.
Give me my property.
You were very assured
This is
of
my
the law,
phone.
and the police are going to be coming, and they're going to be having a word
This
with the
is my
both of us.
phone.
I know it's your
Because
phone.
all the shit that's going on in London, the police
And I'll
need to
be
come for
handing your phone
flowers.
back once the
These
police
are the
here.
people that waste our tax money. Children are getting stabbed. Do you know that?
I do know that.
My property.
You were very assured
This is
of
my
the law,
phone.
and the police are going to be.
In that area, I think it was 4 days before there was a stabbing just not far from there, just a couple of miles from there. I think it was less than a couple of miles. This is, by the way, less than, I think, 3 miles from Westminster. It's very close to the centre. It's very close to right in the centre of London. And that's absolutely right. This rich privileged prick is wasting police's time here because he's a little bit racist and he doesn't like seeing poor people where his daddy bought him a flat in the centre of London. You can see he's that sort of person. He's a rich privileged prick who doesn't want to deal with the lower class and the poor. He doesn't want to deal with them. He wants them, as Mark Blythe would say, out of the way in their comprehensive schools and their council estates, which are far away, that, by the way, we don't want to pay for. We want to nudge them into better behaviours. This is why it resonated with me when Mark Blythe said that, because I can see it. People from the West Midlands and other working class areas, especially up north, can see it. And this is right in the centre of London, and it's happening right in the centre of London as well. It's everywhere. It's a class issue. And right there, it's not her class that's the problem. It's her class that they demonise, the lower class, the poor. It's his class that's the problem. It's the top 10%, and especially, I would suggest, listening to his accent, that his daddy and his family are in the top 1%. He's the problem. He thinks he's the saviour, but he's not. He's an asshole. He's a privileged prick. He's a wanker. That's what he is. I hope he sees this, and I hope he hears all the insults I've flung at him so far, because I fucking meant every one of them. You absolute asshole.
Coming, and they're going to be having a word with the both of us. I know.
They're going to be having a word.
All the shit that's going on in London, the police need to come for flowers. These are the people that waste our tax money. Children are getting stabbed, you know that?
I do know
Every
that.
day, someone got stabbed in the back last night, and you're wasting police time and money over flowers.
They're running around. They've cut 22,000 police in the last 10 years under Tory austerity. 22,000 police jobs gone. So they're stretched thin, and this privileged prick thinks the problem is a poor person picking flowers in the park, and that's what the police need to deal with. When there was, as she just pointed out, there was a stabbing the previous night in the area.
You are an epitome of this social, this community. I swear down.
I spoke to Michelle about that, and you know what? She was so angry and so all right, and I thought she did a great job of keeping her temper, by the way, as the other girl did. And she was quite pissed off that she couldn't get her words out because she was so angry, but she's right. He is the epitome of the class problem. He's the epitome of the problem that we face in this country. He's the epitome of the class issue. He's the fucking problem. People like him. And you know what? People like him need to realise something. People like that young black lady and people like Michelle, who's actually recording here, they outnumber him about 99-1. And as Mark Blythe's hedge fund friends say, as he says to his hedge fund friends, the Hamptons is not a defensible position. You know, you might buy these lovely properties, but they're on low-lying beaches, and sooner or later the people are going to come for you. And you know what? I hope they come for him first. I'm going to let this play out now because Michelle's brilliant. She goes on a bit of a rant and tears him a new one. Enjoy it.
What a fucking waste of time. What a fucking waste of time. What a fucking waste of time. People are dying.
I'm not permanently taking...
You insulted me.
No, I did not assault you.
Me.
No, you pushed me. No, you were trying to physically take stuff of me, and I just pushed you back. Yes, because
it's my phone.
It is your phone. These
you
are not your flowers. You came straight away and pushed me and took my phone. No, I did not push you.
You must have assaulted her. You must have assaulted her.
My phone was in there.
She must have thought she was getting robbed. She would have had the right to kick your ass. Coming and snatching her phone like that. I would have assumed I was getting robbed.
Yeah. She would have assumed she was getting robbed and probably turned around, smacked him one, and then got sent to prison for GBH.
Yes.
I did not come aggressively.
When the police get here, that's what I would tell them. You've been robbed. You've robbed him. Just because you're white doesn't mean you haven't stolen it. You've robbed her. You've robbed my phone. You've robbed her phone. Babe, let's just wait silently anyway. Just wait silently. Let's wait.
You'll be arrested.
So they did wait silently, and he walked round the corner, as I say, and put the bag down at that point, put the phone down, and then legged it. He legged it, obviously they all dispersed then. But I wanted to highlight it, so, you know, highlight it because it's my first exclusive video. Thanks very much, Michelle, there. And I wanted to highlight most of all, you know, the situation down there at the moment is terrible. You know, and it's indicative of the class struggle and, you know, the 99 versus the 90% versus the 1%, and the gentrification that's going on down there at the moment in London. And so you would think then, I mean, you know, obviously the answer to this this knife crime that's going on at the moment, which is obviously making everybody on edge. Not that privileged prick, but there's a lot of knife crime going on at the moment down there, all over the UK actually, as Michelle there pointed out. You would think then that obviously the answer is investment in these areas, investment in, you know, areas in the central London that are underprivileged and lower class areas, investment in, you know, youth projects and youth outreach schemes, and using some of the report by that Scottish lady, I forgot what it was called now, I'll leave a link down there if you can remember, you know, that says that these sort of programs that working with communities rather than demonizing them really does help with knife crime, that sort of thing. So you would think that the government are going to do that, aren't they? They're going to go down that route. Yes? Surely they are. Sajid Javid says police to get new stop search powers to combat rising knife crime. His idea is to do stop and search to increase those powers. A racist policy which targets black people massively over white upper class people who are rich tossbags. Answer me this question, Sajid, if you think this is going to help. Which one of those two people do you think the police would profile and do a stop and search on? Which one of those two people? Do you think it's the white privileged prick who I honestly want to smack 7 ways from Sunday? And I dare say you do. Or do you think it's the young black girl who's picking flowers for her mum on Mother's Day because she's got no money to do so, because she's in trouble and she's in poverty? It's obviously going to be the young black girl, isn't it? Do you think that's going to help tensions between the youth and the underprivileged and the poorer people in the London and the underprivileged and the people in poverty? Do you think that's going to help relations between them and the police, or do you think that's going to drive the wedge even further between them and escalate these knife crimes? It's not difficult to figure out what's going to happen here, especially if you implement a racist policy in an area with people who are obviously inherently racist. He walked past a white woman smoking crack to accost a black woman picking flowers for her mom on Mother's Day. Whoever you are, mate, whoever you are, I hope whenever you get an itch in future, it's just out of reach. You know, just out of reach, so it constantly annoys you. And I hope that you do that again, and that the next time you think it's a young black girl who's doing that, a young black defenseless girl who's picking flowers, and next time you accost them for no reason because you're a racist, privileged prick, I hope she turns round and kicks your motherfucking ass. If you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and click the bell below so you get a notification of when I drop further videos. If you click through to my website as well, you can find out ways to support me. You can do it for as little as $1 a month. Can't do this without your support. I really do appreciate it. Thanks very much for your support. Until next time, peace and take care.